Hi guys, welcome to Way of the Beret guitar lessons. My name's Luke. Today I'm going to show you 5 key blues licks that are used by really great guitar players. They'll hopefully improve your playing. So before we start, there's 2 scales that I want to outline to you first, which will form the core of these licks that I'm going to play. And I'm also going to talk a bit about unison bends. So we'll start off with the scales. I'm going to explain how to play them in what would be tab form as opposed to standard notation form, because for some people standard notation is pretty tricky. So we'll start with the E minor pentatonic scale in the standard position at the 12th fret. This is a really basic rock scale. Most people will know how to play this already, but just in case you don't, here we go. Okay, so we start at the lowest string, that's the E string on the 12th fret. And we go 12, 15, we go up to the A string, 12, 14, we go up to the D string, 12, 14, we go up to the G string, 12, 14, we go up to the B string, 12, 15 this time, we go up to the E string, 12, 15. Okay, that's the E minor pentatonic position at the 12th fret. I'm going to play through it a bit faster now just so you get a general feel for it. Okay, that's the first of the 2 scales that we're going to be using today. The second of these scales is the A minor pentatonic, and this is only slightly different from the E minor pentatonic. It's going to be the position at the 12th fret again. So we start again, the 12th fret on the E string, 12, 15, 12, 15, this time instead of 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 13, 15, 12, 15. Okay, so that's the A minor pentatonic at the 12th fret as follows. Okay, so those are the 2 scales that I'm going to talk about today. The other thing I'm going to have to talk to you about before we get started is bends. So you can watch my other lesson on bends, and that should sort you out there. Okay, on to the first lick. This is a lick that's used by Slash quite a lot. We're going to start with our 3rd finger on the 14th fret of the G string. We're going to use our 3rd and the strength of our 3rd and our 2nd fingers to bend this note, which is an A, all the way up to a B, which is the note at the 12th fret on the B string above. So, here we go. There's the original note at the 14th fret on the G string, bend it up to a B. And it should match the B on the 12th fret. Can you hear that? Okay, that's a good bend. Okay, so we do that. Those are the first 2 notes we play. The 3rd note is the 12th fret on the E string, that's the higher string. So, okay, and the next note is the 15th fret on the B string. And then we finish off with a note that's the 12th fret on the E string. So 5 notes altogether. Okay, and that's the basic lick. And it's used quite a lot in rock and roll. You play it at quite a high speed, so something like. Okay, that gives you a basic feel for it. And if you put it within, say, a solo, it might go something like. Something like that. Okay, now the second lick I'm going to show you today relies on the 2nd scale that I showed you just before, and this lick is in Stairway to Heaven. It's the crescendo lick in that solo. So we're going to start at the 15th fret on the B string. We're going to bend that up a whole step from D to E. We're going to let it go to D, but we're not going to pick it. And we're going to pull off onto the C, that's the 13th fret of the B string. So from the 15th, we bend the 15th up on the B string, down, let go, and pull off onto the 13th. Like so. And the last note of this very simple lick is the 14th fret on the G string. So it goes. And if within the context of Stairway to Heaven, it's something like. And then. It's something like that. I can't remember the solo precisely. Okay, so that's the second of our licks. So just to recap, we've got. And then the third lick we're going to do is one that's used by both Slash in Sweet Child of Mine, a variant of it, and by Matthias Jabs of the Scorpions in Rock You Like a Hurricane. So, go back to our standard E minor pentatonic scale, start on the D string at the 12th fret, and we're going to double pick the scale ascending. So, something like that. In the Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane, something like that is how it's played. Slash uses a variant of it on Sweet Child of Mine, but he starts on the 14th fret of the D string and then goes backwards on every string but still ascends when he's going up. So it's easier to play than to explain it in words. So something like that, and that's our third lick. Our fourth lick isn't really so much a lick as such, it's the concept of a, what's known as a double stop, and this is basically harmonising in fourths in musical terms. So you play a note, so I'll take the 10th note on the thin E string, and you play the note directly below it, so you fret both, and you play both, so gives you a really bluesy sound. You can slide it up and down. That's to the 8th fret, and slide it up again. Okay, and now if you mix this in with a unison bend at the string, with the string below and 2 to the right, you can get a really kind of punky sound. So in this case, I'm using the G string at the 12th fret, and I'm bending that G up to an A, and I'm using that with the notes I've already got fretted at the 10th fret to give kind of a punky sounding lick. So something like that, just to spice up your rock solos a bit. And the final lick I'm going to teach you today, this is the fifth lick, is a very simple finishing lick. And so it goes something like, we're going to start with the 15th fret on the B string. We're going to bend this up a full step. We're going to play the E on the E string at the 12th fret. And then we go back to release the note after this. And we just then descend the pentatonic scale, but we have an overlap of 1 with each note we pick. So it's easier for me to show you than for me to tell you. So here we go. Okay, so, and then we can finish off with an E5, which is played with an open on the E string, a 2 on the A string, and a 2 on the D string to finish off, to give us that big rock sound. So, and this is kind of what AC/DC might use at the end of a concert with, say, Angus Young just finishing off. So he's finished a solo and then something like. Okay, and that's our 5 blue licks. Thanks for listening. This has been Way of the Beret Guitar Lessons. Peace out and keep practicing.